Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today in this video guys I am going to do an in-depth review of this SpeedyBee F7 flight controller stack version 2. In addition to unboxing guys, I will be also telling you what are the technical functions and features which this stack has to offer. This is the stack guys I am going to use to create my FPV racing drone. So guys, if you are new to assembling drone, ensure that you watch this video till the end so that you do not miss out on any important information or instructions that I have to share. Before we move further guys, if you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for my new videos. Let's get started. So guys, before we see some of the technical functions and features which this has to offer, let's quickly unbox this and see the contents inside. Whenever you purchase this SpeedyBee F7 flight controller stack guys, this comes in this black box. As you can see, this is a very small black box. On the top you can see guys, you have SpeedyBee logo onto the top. Onto the side guys, you can see it has a SpeedyBee website mentioned on the top. If you want to have more information guys, you can go onto the SpeedyBee website to check it out. Onto the side guys, you have the SpeedyBee logo. On this side guys, you have nothing more than the barcode information and it says SpeedyBee stack, condition new, made in China. On the other side guys, on the label it says the brand is SpeedyBee. Model is TX600, flight controller is SpeedyBee F7 version 2. It comes with an ESC, Bell Heli 32, 45 Ampere. SKU is SpeedyBee stack. Input voltage is 3S to 6S LiPo. That is what you have on the side of the box guys. Now let's quickly unbox this and see the contents inside. So guys, whenever you first open the box, on the top you get the welcome card. It comes with some of the links which you can go through and some of the support instructions which is available on the website and the email to contact. So if you have any doubt guys, you can email onto this email or go onto their website. Onto the back side guys, you have the wiring diagram and the application QR code onto the back, which you can scan from your phone and get the link. So which is also something really nice guys. So if you do not know how to wire this and how to connect those peripherals onto this SpeedyBee F7 stack guys, you can use this QR code to check it out. But guys, I will be also telling you how to do the wiring and connect the peripherals right in this video guys, so ensure that you watch this video till the end. Here you have the SpeedyBee app guys. As you know guys, this SpeedyBee F7 version 2 stack comes with inbuilt Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which you can use to connect it to the mobile app and configure and flash the firmware, change the direction of the motors, all from this app itself. So you can download the app using this QR code. In my future videos guys, I'll be also telling you how to operate this mobile app and how to configure this flight controller using Betaflight guys. So ensure that you stay tuned to my channel so that you do not miss out on those videos. So let's keep the card aside for now. So here you can see guys, it has the flight controller and the ESC both in the same box guys. As you can see, it is well packed using the foam based cover onto the side so as to prevent it from any damage during the transport due to shock or accidents, which is also something really nice guys. And also guys, you can see onto the side it comes with pre-installed anti-vibration pad onto the ESC and to the flight controller both, which is also something really nice. Now let's quickly remove these components onto the sides. We'll see them later. Now let us see what else is there inside the box. At the bottom of the box guys, it comes with an accessory box that you can take it out. So you can see the box came aside. It comes with the jumper cables guys, so as to be able to connect your ESC to the flight controller and also your DJI camera to the flight controller guys if you have. So that is also something really nice guys. It comes with the spare anti-vibration pads and some of the nuts and the washer so as to be able to install it onto your drone frame. It also comes with the stacking screws guys onto the sides, you can see here, and it comes with the filter capacitor which will be installed onto the ESC so as to filter any noise due to the battery which will be introduced when you connect the LiPo, so which is also something really nice. In addition to that guys, it comes with jumper cable guys so as to be able to connect your batteries to your ESC guys, so which is also something really nice. That is what you have inside the box guys. I'll keep the box aside. Now let's quickly see the components one by one. Now guys, let us quickly see the components one by one. Let's first see the JST itself guys. So it comes with two JST packed in this wrapper guys. As you can see, one is larger and one is small. So smaller one is your 8-pin micro JST guys, which is used to connect your flight controller onto your ESC directly using the JST connector that you have installed onto the top guys. So this is what it is used for, guys. So let's keep this aside. Now it comes with another 6-pin JST, guys, which is used to connect your DJI camera if you want to install it onto your flight controller, guys. So that is what it is used for. So it is the 6-pin JST that you have on your flight controller, which you can connect it to the DJI camera if you have. I will not be installing the DJI camera, guys. I will not be using this JST to connect it here, guys. So I'll keep that aside for now. In addition to that, guys, it comes with this screws along with the capacitor, guys. So this is M3 screws, guys. These are the long screws which is going to be used to install your flight controller and your MCU onto your drone frame, guys. As you can see, guys, it comes with 5 screws, guys, but you'll be using only 4. One is included as a spare, guys, which is also something really nice. In addition to that, guys, it comes with 35 volt 470 microfarad capacitor, which will be installed onto the tip of the input voltage or power supply of your ESC, guys, so as to harmonize or smoothen the current which is coming from your LiPo. So guys, as you can see onto the top of the ESC, guys, there are small holes. So that is where, guys, you will be inserting this capacitor and installing it onto your ESC, guys. Just note that, guys, the side which is marked with minus sign is your negative terminal and the other one is your positive terminal. In addition to that, guys, also you can notice the negative terminal is shorter than the positive terminal. So that is how you know which side and which polarity you need to install. So then positive will go to positive and negative will go to the negative side of the ESC. So that is how you're going to install the capacitor, guys. In addition to that, guys, it comes with some of the nuts, as you can see, so as to be able to tighten the screws whenever your flight controller is installed onto your drone frame. So that is what it is used for. These are the plastic nuts that came along with it. In addition to that, guys, it comes with spare anti-vibration pad, one which is longer and one which is smaller. The smaller one is installed onto your ESC, guys, and the longer one is installed on your flight controller in case you damage any of the anti-vibration pad at the time of installation, which is also something really nice. In addition to that, guys, it comes with some of the washers so as to be able to have some of the spacing and tightening the screw up. So that is also something really nice which is included right here in this package, guys. In addition to that, guys, it comes with this wires or connector, guys, which will be used to connect your LiPo battery onto your flight controller. Onto this side, guys, this will be installed onto your ESC, onto the pads which is there on the ESC. The red one goes to positive and the black one goes to negative. This is 12 AWG wire which is susceptible to 200 degrees centigrade, which is enough so as to be able to install 6S LiPo battery onto your ESC, guys. As you can see, guys, your ESC comes with properly marked with positive and negative terminals, so ensure that, guys, you install it properly. Onto the top, guys, it comes with XT60 header pin, guys, which is normally available on your 6S LiPo battery. So using this connector, guys, you'll be able to install the 4S to 6S LiPo battery so as to be able to power this ESC and your flight controller together. So which is also something really nice, guys. So let's keep this aside as well. Now let's quickly see the ESC. So as you can see, guys, this is 30 mm stack, guys. So ensure that, guys, whenever you buy this flight controller, ensure that your drone frame is compatible with 30 mm stack. Also, guys, it takes M3 screws, guys. So the screw holes to mount on your drone frame should be compatible with M3 screws, so which is also something super important before using this flight controller stack on your drone frame. Onto the center of the ESC, guys, you can see there are 16 capacitors, which is 47 microfarad, so as to be able to smoothen the power which is delivered onto your flight motors, guys. Onto the side, guys, here you can see the pads are in group of 3. So here you can see, guys, there are 4 pads so as to be able to install 4 drone motors onto this ESC. So you will be able to build a quadcopter using this ESC. So here onto the side, guys, the black chips that you can see, guys, these are the MOSFETs which is used to control the power and the speed which is delivered onto your motors which is connected onto these pads. Here you can see, guys, these 2 small components that you can see is used to sense the current which is supplied onto the ESC and to the motors. Onto the back side guys, here you can see the bigger black squares are the MCUs or microcontrollers, which is getting the PWM signal from the flight controller and then controlling the speed of the motors which is connected to the ESC. So that is how you get the speed signal from this JST pin, that is what you have onto the top, and then using these microcontrollers, this transmits the signal onto this pad guys, so as to be able to control the speed of the motor which is connected onto the ESC. In addition to that guys, here you can see you have plus pad and minus pad guys here onto the top, so as to be able to connect the battery here. In addition to that guys, you can see there are small holes on these pad guys, so as to be able to install a capacitor to the input supply, so as to smoothen the input supply as well, which is also something really nice. Here you can see it is clearly marked as Bell Heli 32 4-in-1 ESC, so you will be able to control the direction using the Bell Heli 32 software in case your motor is connected in a reverse direction. So guys, as I have told you before in my previous videos, to change the direction of the motor guys, you can either invert any two of the wires onto the pads, or using this Bell Heli 32 software you can also reverse the direction of the motors without desoldering the software right from the flight controller itself guys, which is also something really nice. This SpeedyBee F7 version 2 flight controller guys also gives you an option to change the direction of the motor right from the mobile app. So here you can see guys, this is SpeedyBee 45 Ampere ESC. Onto the top side guys, you can see you have a 8-pin JST, 4 pin is used for the motor control signal, 2 more pins is 5 volt and ground, so as to be able to power your flight controller, and then you have a current sensor pin and a telemetry pin. Telemetry pin will be able to transmit the ESC telemetry right to the flight controller, so as to be able to display on your OSD and control the parameters of the ESC as and when required, which is also something really nice. So that is what this JST is used for. In addition to the JST guys, you have the pads here as well onto the front of the JST. In case you damage the JST, you can solder the pins directly here on this copper pads that you have on the front side of the ESC. So that is what is being offered by this ESC guys. Now let's quickly see the flight controller itself. So here you can see guys, onto the flight controller there are 2 JST pin, one is your 8 pin and one is your 6 pin. 6 pin JST is used to connect an external DJI camera module guys if you have, so that is what it is used for. And the 8-pin JST guys is, as I told you guys, is used to connect it to your ESC, so as to be able to transmit the motor signal onto your ESC and receive your 5 volt and ground and your ESC telemetry and the current value. So that is what it is used for. Here onto the side guys, with the yellow marking, you can see it is a USB type C port, which is used to connect it to your PC, so as to be able to upload the firmware onto this flight controller. In addition to the USB port, as I have told you before, you can also flash the firmware wirelessly using the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi module, which is inbuilt onto this flight controller. Onto the center guys, you can see the big chip is your microcontroller itself. The longer one is your OSD or your on-screen display chip. Onto the side guys, here this is your 16 MB flash. Here you can see guys, there are 2 power module which is inbuilt. One is for 9 volt supply 2 ampere and one is for 5 volt supply and 2 ampere, which is inbuilt on this flight controller. In addition to that guys, here onto the center guys, you have the gyro. This is your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi module which is inbuilt onto this flight controller guys. This is your Wi-Fi antenna. Here you have the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antenna LED, which if it is blinking, that means it is not connected onto your app. If it is a solid, that means you have got the connection onto your app, and then you can flash the firmware directly using the app. So that is what it is used for. This is your flight controller indicator and this is your power indicator. Onto the top side guys, it says it is F7 board version 2. Here you can see you have a small arrow which states that guys, whenever you install this flight controller, this arrow should be pointing onto the front side of your drone, so that your flight controller knows which direction is the front. In addition to that guys, you have 5 UARTs inbuilt. So in addition to that guys, onto the pads, you can see here you have a camera control, you have ground and 5 volts, so as to be able to power the camera. Here is your video input pin for your camera. Here you have R5 for smart port. Here you have ground and 5 volt. And here you have T1 and R1 so as to be able to connect your radio receiver and then power it up using 4V5 and ground, which is also something really nice. Here you have 3.3 volt and RS pad. Here you have LED pad, ground and 5 volts so as to be able to connect the LED. Here you have battery voltage, buzzer plus and buzzer minus so as to be able to control the buzzer. Here you have R2 and T2. Here you have ground and 9 volt and 5 volts so as to be able to have smart audio and connect your VTX. Here you have 5 volt and ground, T6, R6, SD and SCA. This is the pad guys which is used to connect the GPS and magnetometer module onto the flight controller guys. In a minute guys, I'll be also showing you a detailed wiring diagram on how to connect which component and where and how. So ensure that guys you watch this video till the end. So that is what you have onto the flight controller guys. Now let's quickly see the technical specifications and features which this flight controller has to offer. So guys, as per the technical specification goes for SpeedyBee F7 version 2 flight controller, as you can see, it comes with a microcontroller STM32F722. This is a 32-bit microcontroller and it comes with an inbuilt IMU which is MPU 6000. It has an USB interface of Type C with an inbuilt barometer of BMP 280 on its internal I2C port. It has an on-screen display chip which is 807456E with inbuilt Bluetooth and Wi-Fi support as well. With Bluetooth you can only do the configuration, but with Wi-Fi you can also flash the firmware, do the black box analysis and things like that. It comes with an onboard DJI Air Unit slot so as to be able to connect it with the DJI camera directly onto the flight controller using the port that it has. It comes with an inbuilt black box memory of 16 MB with a current sensor of 1:10 scale of 168. It has a Betaflight camera control pad as well so as to be able to control the menu of the camera that you attach onto the flight controller. It can take a power input from 3S to 6S battery, which is also something really nice. It comes with a 5 volt onboard regulator and 9 volt onboard regulator with an load that it can take on each type of voltage of around 2.5 amperes. It has around 7 5 volt outputs with one buzzer output and two 9 volt output. One is there as a pad and one is there on the DJI slot so as to be able to power your DJI camera unit. In addition to that guys, it also supports 4.5 volt output and 3.3 volt output, which as you know guys get powered on as and when you connect the USB onto the flight controller. So it helps in the configuration for all those peripherals which are connected to 4.5 volt or 3.3 volt output. It has an ESC signal output from M1 to M4 so as to be able to give the PWM signal for all the 4 motors which are connected to the ESC. It has around 5 UARTs, UART 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6 with an half UART of UART 4 for ESC telemetry that is coming out of your ESC and connected to the flight controller. It has an onboard I2C port so as to be able to connect your magnetometer, sonar and any other peripherals which support I2C bus. It has an LED pin which supports your ARGB LED WS2812, so you will be able to individually control the color and the function of the LEDs if you connect those LED to this pad. It also has a separate buzzer pad with buzzer plus and buzzer minus, with buzzer pad using 5 volt supply. So you can have an onboard buzzer and control it using the flight controller. It has a boot button so as to be able to load the firmware and boot your flight controller into DFU mode so as to upload the firmware as well. It has an RSSI input solder pad as well so as to be able to take an RSSI output signal which is generated by the RC control that you connect with the flight controller. It has a smart port functionality inbuilt which can be used on any UART port which is available on the flight controller to which you have not connected any other peripherals. So that is also something really nice. As you know guys, I have purchased this as a stack, so it comes with an ESC as well. So let's quickly see the specifications of the ESC. So it comes with a SpeedyBee Bell Heli 32 45 ampere 4-in-1 ESC so as to be able to control 4 brushless DC motor for your quadcopter. It comes with an onboard firmware of Bell Heli 32 SpeedyBee 4-in-1. It supports a continuous current of 45 ampere to each motor with a burst current of 55 ampere for 10 seconds. The ESC protocol that is supported by this ESC is DShot 300, 600 and 1200, which is also something really nice, guys. It has a power input which it can take from 3S to 6S. Ensure that, guys, there is a capacitor installed onto the input power supply so as to compensate for the back EMF generated. Also, guys, it has a power output of VBAT, which is through the port which is available onto the ESC, which is connected to the flight controller so as to power your flight controller as well. It has an onboard current sensor which supports a scale of 168 so as to be able to give the telemetry as well. It has a telemetry port which transmits the telemetry from ESC to the flight controller for better functions. It has a mounting hole of 4M which supports M3 screws. It has a weight of around 12.5 grams and it can support a motor up to 1900 kV or below, as you would need for 6S battery. As you know, guys, I'll be connecting 1800 kV motor, guys, so this should be sufficient. So these are the technical specifications of your flight controller stack, guys. Now let's quickly see how to connect the peripherals onto the flight controller. As you can see, guys, the default wiring diagram here, your ESC and your flight controller can be connected out using the jumper port that you have on your ESC and your flight controller. As you know, whenever you purchase the stack, it comes with this jumper connector, guys, so as to be able to connect your flight controller to ESC, which in turn connects the ground and VBAT so as to be able to power your flight controller and the motor signal M1 to M4 onto your ESC so as to control the speed and direction of the motor. In addition to that, guys, it also has a current sensor port and a telemetry port so as to transmit the data from your ESC to the flight controller for better operation. Also, guys, as I have told you before, it comes with a inbuilt DJI unit port, guys, so as to be able to connect your DJI FPV Air Unit directly onto your flight controller without soldering using this jumper connection that you have. So it has an S-bus port, ground, R2T2 ground and 9 volt to power this DJI Air Unit. So as per the peripheral goes, you can see here, guys, to connect your camera, you have 5 volt and ground and the video input, which is connected onto the video output of the camera. And then you have a camera control pad right here on your flight controller so as to be able to connect it to the menu or menu RX pad of your camera. In addition to that, guys, if you have a radio receiver, guys, that can be connected onto T1 and R1 so as to have your RX and TX, guys. However, guys, if you have an S-bus port which is available on your receiver, you can connect it to the R1 and configure it accordingly in the firmware. As you know, guys, in addition to all the ports that you can connect it to the receiver, it also has an RSSI input pad here called RS so as to get the RSSI signal value directly from your receiver onto your flight controller using this pad. As you know, guys, 4v5 pad and 3v3 pad gets powered up whenever you connect the USB onto this flight controller. So whenever you power this radio receivers using 4v5 pad, you will be able to configure the radio receiver as and when you connect the USB cable, which is also something really nice, guys. In addition to that, guys, here you have the port where you can connect your GPS and magnetometer. So here you have 5 volt and ground to power your GPS, and then T6 and R6 for your GPS, and SCA and STL, which is your I2C port, so as to connect your magnetometer, which is combined with your GPS module. In addition to that, guys, here you can see it has buzzer plus and buzzer minus port so as to be able to connect the buzzer here. Here you can see it has an LED PWM port, guys, and then 5 volt and ground so as to be able to connect the LED strip, which has an ARGB LEDs, which you can control using the LED PWM pad that is here on the flight controller. And lastly, guys, you will be able to connect your VTX or your video transmitter using the pads here. You can power your VTX using 9 volt or 5 volt and ground, which is here available. And then T2 port is for your smart audio. and then the video output signal which is coming out of your OSD or your on-screen display chip is coming out from VO port, which can then be connected onto the video input port of your VTX so as to be able to transmit the video signal using your VTX. So that is how you connect your VTX, buzzer, GPS, magnetometer, LED strip, camera, and your radio receiver onto this flight controller, guys. In my future videos, guys, I will also be telling you how to connect other peripherals onto this flight controller. So ensure that, guys, you stay tuned to my channel so that you do not miss out on my future videos. So this is it, guys. This concludes the unboxing, review, and the technical specifications and features of this SpeedyBee F7 version 2 flight controller. I hope you guys like this video. If you guys like this video, please do not forget to hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I will try and answer as soon as possible. If you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell notification icon so that you get the notifications for my new videos. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching, and clear skies.